Hi everybody. I wanted to give you guys a really quick demo of what is in the latest version of FrontEnd Creator. There's been some slight changes to it that might change the way you were expecting things to show up. So for optimization and just speed of load, we made a couple changes. So let's log in. We'll authenticate. When you come here, your home will be blank, and it is possible to configure and have sample apps that you've written in your projects to show up here for testing. But what I really want to show you is now the projects. We now have a slider that allows us to adjust this, but you notice here there are no projects now. What we do now is we allow you to open projects, and so you can go through here and find all the projects that you have and be able to look at them, or play with them, kind of do whatever you need to with them. I'll just load a couple of them just so that we can kind of see that they are actually working, and then maybe submit that. And you'll notice immediately that they'll start up, and we can easily, start looking in here. We have the ability to adjust our window here, and as always, we can collapse it or not. So that part really hasn't changed a lot, with regard to that. The biggest difference now is that we're caching projects, and we cache tabs. So if I were to go here, hit home, and even to go even a step further is I'll refresh the browser, come back into projects, and it remembers where you were. And in fact, it'll actually remember multiple tabs that you have open. So if I go back and refresh again and come back, you'll see that those are open. Another nice thing about this is that, say for example, I just want to have app.js open. I now have a context menu, and I can say maybe close everything. Close all the others, so everything but this one. And then if I go back and then come back in here, it remembers where I was. You can load projects as well as unload them. So if I click now here and say unload, what this actually does is it just removes it from the tree, but it does not delete it. It's still there. I think that one was called random users right here. So I could load it back up, and it'll be available again for me to look at. Another aspect is when you're previewing the projects, if you look here, you can see that we're previewing it. If I wanted to modify something, it would be fairly easy for me to change a value, maybe red 2 here, hit save, and you'll see that now that's updating. Previously in the browser, in this iframe, it would still be trying to get the same URI. And even though there's something changed in the source code, it wouldn't update it because it was not busting the cache for it to force it to reload. So now it does that out of the box for you. So don't really have to do anything on your side. What else here do we have? I'm trying to go through the list of things. So we also now have the ability, I'm going to go ahead and close all these out. Close all. And just kind of collapse these. I'm going to add a new project. This new one is called Phaser. So if you've dealt with any of the 2D engines out there, Phaser is just one of those. And I'll just do maybe Infinite Tank Wars or something like that. And it comes pre-baked with a template. I'm using System.js and the latest and greatest of ECMAScript 6 and 7 to allow us to do modules and loading and stuff like that. So everything's kind of broken apart. We have prefabs, we have states. I'm not going to go completely into how Phaser works, but just the nice thing about it is you can deal with classes. You have different classes for each of your states, and you have different states with that have a workflow just like Aurelia does as far as how the gaming engine works. And there's always an init, a created update, specific functions, very similar to how Unity works as well. But the nice thing about it is that you can just hit play, and you can actually create this yourself, your own, sample game with a little bit of, animation in here. And so more than anything else, I just wanted to kind of give you a template of what you could do to kind of get yourself started, and that will grow, and there'll be more that I'll put in the marketplace as well in the future. But just wanted to give you an idea of what that looked like. I think for the most part, those are the biggest changes. The biggest thing has been the editor, with the splitter, getting all that into place so that we had a nice experience for that. Making sure that the tree was working and behaving properly as it should, with regard to caching as well as the tabs. And so, again, if I were to reload the browser and come back in, it remembers exactly what I had open, which I find to be extremely helpful. And then when I switch between these, you notice that the load times are extremely fast because all of that's now being cached. And it maintains and synchronizes all of that between the server and what's in memory. So thanks again for watching this. I know it was a little bit long, but I wanted to kind of explain and describe what's going on here. Just don't forget that if you want to add more of your projects that you've got, you can go ahead and just select the ones you need, bring them in, and they'll show up over here. If you, for some reason, don't want them anymore, you can either unload it, which removes it from the tree and from being cached, or you can altogether delete the project, which will actually delete it. Now, if I try to load again, there will no longer be a tank wars. There is a tanks, but there's no longer a tank wars. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what you can do. Thanks for watching, and appreciate it.